Hi Cancer, welcome to your September 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I'm actually going to be taking a bit of a break from those. I'm not sure when I'm going to be starting them back up. It's probably going to be at least a month from now, if not longer. But if I decide to change my mind, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. As for what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled some Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you. So we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Hermit and the Ace of Cups. So for some of you, this could just be saying that you might be mulling over a love offer that might have come your way, or possibly on the flip side of that, some of you are considering whether or not to make an offer to someone. The reason why I feel like it's definitely around some offers with love is because the Hermit energy is the major arcana card energy for Virgo, and that's your third house communication. And then obviously with the Ace of Cups in combination with that, if we look at the two together, it's like looking at that potential, right? So that's what I see going on there for the majority of you. For some of you, this can be around work as well, since Virgo does represent that energy of work. So that's a possibility for some of you, but for more of you, I feel like it's more in the love spectrum. In the challenge or obstacle position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So with this coming up in the challenge position, it could just be saying that maybe you don't feel the timing is right, whether someone makes an offer to you and you might feel like, oh, I don't know if this is the right time for me to jump into something. Or again, if it's you guys who are considering making the offer, you might feel like the timing isn't quite right to do so for whatever reason. Now, given that we do see that as the Virgo energy and we're going to be primarily in Virgo season during September, it might just say that sometime during September you might feel a different way about it, meaning that, if you didn't feel the time is right, for example, I'm recording this in mid-August, maybe as we actually move through Virgo season, you guys might feel like, okay, maybe the time is right to move forward. So that's what I see there. In the foundation position, we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So this is actually Aquarius energy. And for you guys, that's your 8th house. So, I mean, to me, could just be, all right, let's say this is someone you're still dealing with. This could just be saying that maybe you guys have it as strictly a sexual connection now, but you're not, sure if you want to get back into anything more serious than that with this person. But regardless, seeing this come up in reverse, to me it says that one way or another you're not ready to move on from the connection completely. That's the primary vibe I'm picking up on that, with that, rather. In the past position, we had a lot of cards come up. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy again, the Ace of Wands, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Wands. So this is an interesting combination here. This in particular, this actually represents the first 10 degrees of Virgo. So for those of you who don't watch this until September, it could just be saying that around that time, which would be the last 10 days of August, give or take a couple days on either side. And then with that Ace of Wands, could just be saying that you were working towards making an offer with this person. And again, with the Wands energy there, it could just be, again, pointing to there was definitely some kind of a sexual connection between the two of you, even if it was just the attraction level. And it could just be saying maybe that, you're really mulling it over. Maybe there was some healing because you might have had a falling out with the person. And like I said, so, maybe the formal connection broke apart, but you guys were still being involved in like a friends with benefits type thing, right? And then with the Page of Wands, though, I do see that there was some movement. So I feel for a lot of you, either you might have made the offer already or someone did make it to you, just because I'm seeing this in the past position here. So we see, okay, putting in that work. The Ace usually represents an idea. Four of Swords also looks like thinking something over. And then the Page of Wands actually represents taking that action. In the present position, we have the Five of Swords. So more Aquarius energy here, so maybe some of you dealing with an Aquarius, but really what I'm seeing with this is, to me, it's pointing more to the fact that I feel like this is, whether it was you who came forward to this person or vice versa, seems like the other person pushed the other person away. And to me, this seems to point to that Wheel of Fortune being in a challenge, which was to say the timing wasn't right. So again, like I said, just a generic example. Let's say you guys had an argument, right? And one of you tried to make up a little bit too soon while the wound was maybe still fresh for the other person, and then the other person pushed them away as a result. So that's what I'm seeing primarily playing out there, and this can't even point to the fact that we have Uranus going retrograde too. So as far as the timing goes, that could be what it's pointing to, which pretty much, I'm recording this in mid-August, and Uranus is just going retrograde now, so that could be what that's pointing to. In the near future position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I could see this a couple different ways. On the one hand, this can definitely point to you definitely actually wanting to have the stable connection with this person, because this being Capricorn energy, that's your opposite sign. But for others of you, could just be saying one of those things too, where maybe again, because one of you was really hurt by the connection, the person who might have been feeling on the outs just might have really just thrown their energy into their work. And that could be part of what the problem is too, could just be saying that there's an imbalance. Maybe someone has been putting a lot of energy into work and neglecting the relationship, and then that could have been the difficulty as well. So that's what I see there. In the position of your influence on a situation, we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy, and the Star card, so which is Aquarius energy again. So a whole lot of Aquarius energy here, whether you guys have that in your chart or the person you're dealing with does. But seeing these two cards together, they're exact opposites. But what I'm seeing primarily here is it's saying that I feel like you're holding back with this connection. It looks like she's closing the lion's mouth there, and then also with the Star card here, to me it says that you're holding back from being open and vulnerable with this person. So it definitely could have been you for some of you that might have pushed the person away if they came back around, but could just be that you don't feel comfortable being vulnerable with this person. For some of you, this could definitely be around finances as well, though, because Leo energy does represent your second house, and then the eighth house is also related to finances, usually related to other people. So could be a financial connection there as well, but this is primarily coming across like a relationship situation for me. All right, in the environment position, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Sun. So interesting energies here, pretty big contrast. This is more Capricorn energy and represents, usually building something stable and long lasting, but that you're also happy with. And then obviously with the Sun card, we see that playful energy, obviously a lot of happiness, things coming to light. So this could be playing out a couple different ways too. Could just be saying that, on the surface, this person, let's just say, for example, this is someone who intimidates you, right? Maybe you feel like they're just very serious, very buttoned up. Could just be saying that underneath it all, they're actually quite open and playful. So it could be one of those things, again, where the blockage for the two of you could just be that neither of you are comfortable being open and vulnerable with each other. That's one way it could be playing out. Another way could be saying as well that, maybe it's saying that the advice there for the two of you is maybe if you guys have been taking things too seriously lately, like so zeroed in on, okay, let's stick with the practical side of things, could just be saying that the key might be for the two of you to just cut loose and have a little bit more fun with each other. So that's another way that could be playing out as well. And if this is around finances, this is a pretty positive sign as well, which is to say, you're going to actually build on something that's going to make you very happy in the long term too. So pretty positive energy there too, and that would make sense with Venus moving into your second house of Leo for pretty much most of September. So that could be where your focus shifts. All right, in the hopes or fears position, a lot of cards came up here too. We have the Three of Swords, the Lovers, the Eight of Cups, the World, and the Queen of Swords. So ton of cards here. Both of these are Libra energy, which for you guys is your fourth house, the house you guys naturally rule. But this reads to me as, obviously, I'm going to assume that the Three of Swords would be a fear, right? So fearing having a heartbreak around a situation, right? possibly even walking away from it for that reason. Like I was saying, for some of you with that Five of Swords energy, this person might have come back around too soon for your liking, or maybe they were trying to move too fast. So because of that, you might decide to walk away, right? Feeling like the things are completed between the two of you and that balance is restored. But another way that I see this playing out could just be saying that for the time being, this is where you're at. You know, you're fearing heartbreak, and because of that, you're going to walk away. But what this could just be saying that by the time we get into Libra season, which will pretty much be toward the very end of September. So for some of you, this could just be saying that by the end of Libra season, you might actually change your mind and finally move back toward the connection and try to put in some effort. So it could just be one of those things where, like I said, I was picking up on an energy there where for some of you, it might have just been too soon. Whether, like I said, this was a reconnection and you weren't quite ready to forgive the person yet, or again, if they were just moving a little bit too fast for your liking, looks like eventually we'll warm up a little bit more to the idea. And in the outcome position, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy. And with this, again, more house of communication activity for you guys. But also, I feel like this is saying, yeah, that for the majority of you, as we move through September, I feel like the majority of you will decide to stay single and not really go toward this connection. But I do feel like that's probably going to change for a lot of you when we get closer to Libra season. So it could just be as simple as that, saying that you might have needed a break from the situation, right? Maybe you're just so focused on finances because you guys have Mars moving through your 10th house, made all kinds of aspects to all those planets in your opposite sign. So that could have been the tension there. You know, maybe it was just too much for you to handle both your career and your relationship. Could have been saying, you know, that might have made things tough for you. You just need a little break and you guys might come back together. So that's what I see there. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. So this is actually Scorpio energy, which for you guys is your house of romance, creativity. Could just be saying a lot of confusion there, right? So like I said, could just be that you guys have too much on your plate right now. And for the time being, you might be sacrificing the love, but I feel like you will eventually come back to it at some point. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we have To Be Fair. There's the artwork, and the number is 38. Obviously, this looks a lot like Libra energy here too, right, with the scales. So could be another indicator of what I was feeling, that you guys might eventually, by the time we get to Libra season, rebalance the situation. Okay, it says balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message: life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis, to doing, from discovering, to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So definitely an interesting message there, and like I said, don't get me wrong, you guys definitely might be feeling like you're going to be pulled in every direction because all of the heavy energy in your opposite sign, Mars in your 10th house, it's going to be doing a retrograde as well in September. Planet to moving through Libra, so you really just might feel like you're going to be pulled in every direction in some way, and you know, you might just need that break, and you might not express it in the most healthy way, but looks like eventually things might come back around for you guys. All right, the relationship message says, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So yeah, kind of a self-explanatory message there, but hopefully that did resonate for you guys. And like I said, maybe in the present you might have had an argument with this person, but it feels like in the future you guys can come back around and approach it in a more mature manner and set things right. All right, the prosperity message says now is a time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail and you will be treated accordingly. In all your affairs, you will be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift to you and your partners and colleagues. This is also a good time to square your finances and take stock of how you're compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice, and negotiations, so remember that all things must be fairly recompensed. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. So definitely an interesting message there, and if it is around finances, like I was saying with that Three of Pentacles and the Sun energy together, definitely looks like some pretty positive, supportive energy there. And then also the Nine of Pentacles is a pretty positive energy if it's related to finances too. So hope that resonated with you guys. All right, then you actually had a second card come up from this deck, and it was Deep Knowing. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 43. Okay, it says intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. The oracle's message. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So definitely an interesting message there, and that's what makes me think of the Hermit energy with the Ace of Cups. Could just be saying that, you're really trying to trust your intuition, dig deep, and maybe really look at things beneath the surface, but hopefully that resonated for you guys. The relationship message says there are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, then suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So definitely an interesting message there. And then, as for those of you who I was saying, it could be a timing thing too. For some of you, maybe that is a new person, and that could be what that Ace of Cups is saying. And maybe it's just, you might have gotten out of a difficult situation, or again, maybe you're just so heavily focused on finances that initially the timing might not be right, but you just might feel pulled toward this person anyway. All right, the prosperity message says this is a time when your hunches will pay large dividends. If you listen to them, take the risk and act. Within you, there is an oracular consciousness, a higher and deeper knowing that transcends the machinations of the smaller thinking mind. At the deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective. The energies of all thinkers and creators, all inventors and leaders, and all that you need in order to leap into success are available to tune into. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, your genius awaits. So definitely an interesting message there, especially where it says past the busy mind, the genius awaits. It could just be saying where, if this represents your energy and environment, where I was saying, maybe you guys are just approaching things from a bit too practical of an angle, and then it could just be saying, being a little bit more open and light, that could bring some positive change your way. So hopefully that resonated. All right. Next we have Sandpiper Spirit. It says be playful. There's the artwork, and the number is 51. Okay, it says sandpipers are like cute little clowns, poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of Sandpiper Spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage your playfulness. Whatever task you have before you, perform them with the lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new and the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun. Sandpiper Spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. So, pretty positive message there too, and like I said, it might feel a little easier said than done because you have so many energies that might feel like they're pulling you in opposite directions, but hopefully that resonates with you guys as well. And lastly, we have a Mudra card for your sign. So the Mudra you guys got for this month is the Nirvana Mudra, and the keyword for it is awakening. There it is there. There's a lot of info on this card, so I don't think we'll be able to fit it all in one frame, but if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can read what it has to say up to this point, and then I'll move it up a bit so we can get the rest in the shot. Alright, but under benefits it says weakens ego grasping, reduces selfish desire for personal gain from spiritual practice, awakens the heart of compassion, serves as a ritual gesture to conclude any practice, as well as a simple way to dedicate the merit. So that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys. We'll put the name of the Mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, guys. I'll see you all next month. Alright, bye.